Hello and welcome once again to another episode here on my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Becca. I'm a migrant nurse on this channel. Basically, I talk about nursing because I'm an RN. I do lifestyle videos, a little bit of me fun and positive vibes, and every good stuff in between. To my returning subscribers, I say thank you so much for coming back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a live visit visa application for 2 people, and I want to carry you guys along to take you through the steps of doing a successful UK visit visa. And I'll be taking you through the documents, the requirements, and everything you need to make a successful visit visa for somebody or even for yourself from outside of the UK into the United Kingdom. I've been in the UK for over 2 years, and I feel like it is high time I bring somebody on a visit. And so I have 2 people who are very dear to my heart, and I want to invite them to come to visit me here in the UK, probably spend Christmas or a couple of days with me here in the UK. So before I go into the live application, I'd like to explain what a visit visa is. So a visit visa is a document or a type of visa that gives you permission to be in the UK for up to 6 months. And you can come to the UK on a visit visa for either tourism, to visit family or friends, to do business, to do a voluntary work with a registered charity for up to 30 days, or you can do a short course, or you can even come for a medical treatment on a visit visa. There are other categories of visit visa that we have, which is the transit visa for people that are just passing through the United Kingdom to other countries. They will need transit visa, and with that they have a different application link, and that is only £64 for the application. Also, if you are coming to the UK to marry on a visit visa, that also has another link for that application, which you can use to come to the UK on marriage or civil partnership registration. So basically, there are 3 things that you cannot do on a UK standard tourist visa. Number 1 is to either do paid or unpaid work. So you cannot come to the UK to do any job when you are on a visit visa. You can't work whether it is paid or unpaid. But if it is voluntary work for up to 30 days with a charity organization that is registered or recognized, then you are allowed to do it for only up to 30 days. Also, you cannot have access to public funds. So when we talk of public funds, it's quite about 18 things that come together to form the public fund. Example is council house benefit, child benefit, and so on and so forth, which I've mentioned in one of my videos, which I'll put on the screen for you to go and watch if you want to know what public funds are. The last thing you cannot do on a standard UK visit visa is to marry or to register with civil partnership, and that is what I've said already. If you want to come to the UK to marry or you want to register with civil partnership, maybe you have your significant other here that you want to tie the knots together, you would have a different application, which is the marriage application or civil application visit visa, which you can use, which I'll put all in my description box for you guys to go and follow. So the price of a standard tourist visa or a standard visit visa for the United Kingdom is £100. But aside of this, you need other documents that you need to prove that you are eligible or you qualify to have this type of visa. And so I'll mention the document that you need before we go into the application proper. So the number 1 document you need is proof of funds. So for yourself as an applicant, you need to prove that you have enough funds to take care of yourself whilst you are in the United Kingdom. If you don't have enough funds to prove, your sponsor or the person sponsoring you to come into the UK to either visit them, to do business with them, or anything at all, would have to prove through their bank account or through their bank statement that they have enough funds to support you whilst you are in the UK. Another thing you need to prove is that you are going to return to your home country, or are going to be going back to your home country. And with this, you need to be in your home country at the time of the visa application. So if you are doing a visa application and you are not in your home country, possibility of your visa being refused is very, very high, because it will be like, it will prove that you wouldn't go back. So you need to go back to your home country to be able to do a successful visa application. Another thing is to hold a valid passport with enough pages on which your UK visit visa stamp will be put on. You would also need a sponsor letter. This is if somebody is the one sponsoring your visit. So maybe you don't have the proof of funds, or it is somebody that is inviting you. The person needs to write a letter for you, so you need a sponsor letter, also called the invitation letter, stating the reason why you are coming into the UK. They need to state your name, your passport number, your date of birth, and the purpose of the visit and how they are going to support your visit either through accommodation, through finances, or any other thing at all. Any kind of support they are basically going to give you whilst you're in the UK, they need to state in this application letter. It's proof of relationship between you and your sponsor. So if you are not applying through anybody, then you wouldn't need this. But if it is somebody that is inviting you, then you need to prove the relationship between you and the person, either by showing photographs or messages, communication, things that prove that there is a relationship between you and the person, or things that show that you have a good relationship between you and the person that is sponsoring you. The last but certainly not the least is evidence that your sponsor will not be in breach of UK immigration law. And this is especially if your sponsor is not a citizen. So for people like us who are residents, who are on sponsorship and want to bring other people under us or to come and visit us, we need to prove. And how do you prove this? You need to send your passport biodata page and a copy of your BRP front and back. And with that, they are able to authenticate and know that you are a resident in the UK and you are not going to be in breach of any immigration rule. And also the person coming to visit you is come to the UK and will go back after their visit. So without much ado, guys, let's start the application. So I have my laptop here with me. Obviously, I have already opened the application and I'm about to start. But because I want to make it live, I just feel like carrying you guys along, okay? So the first thing they ask when you open the application, you need to have a valid email address. So you put in your email address. So the email address should be an email address that you constantly open, that you have access to, because they will give you a sign-in link through that email address, and it's that link that you use to follow up on your application or any other thing in future. So it needs to be a valid email address. For confidentiality reasons, I am not going to show you the screen for you to know who I am inviting, because even the people I'm inviting do not know I'm doing the application for them. I have their details and I just want to kind of surprise them, okay? So the first question they ask is obviously your name. So the name of the person that you are applying for. If you are the main applicant, you put your name there. They ask for your passport number, your date of birth, your gender, and then the type of visa you are applying for, which is obviously a standard visa or a standard visit visa, and then your email address, which you put there because it's that email that will put every information in for you. Pardon me if I'm looking down because I'm looking onto the screen because I don't want to make any mistake, okay? The next question they ask is, what is the main reason for your visit to the UK? Because I said people come on the UK standard visit visa for a lot of multiple reasons, so you choose. So in my case, I'm choosing tourism, that is visiting family and friends. Then the next question is, will you be traveling as part of an organized group? So you choose appropriately, yes or no. If it's an organized group, you choose yes. If it's not an organized group, you choose no. So organized group is like institutions that are doing, for example, let's say a workplace decides to apply for visit visa for their staff to travel together. That's an organized group. Will you be traveling to the UK with somebody who is not your partner, spouse, or dependent? And then you answer appropriately. So if you choose yes as an answer, the follow-up question that is going to be asked is the name of the person you're going to be traveling with. So their first name, their surname, their country of nationality, your relationship with them. That is going to be the next question. But if you answer no to this question, it means you are not going to write anything at the bottom, or there is not going to be any drop-down question following that. So the next question is, what is the main reason for your holiday? You put it there, whether you are visiting family, whether you are coming for medical treatment or anything, as I've explained before. Then the next question is, give details of the main purpose of your visit and anything else you are planning to do on your trip. So here's like a brief summary of what you'll be doing in the UK. In the first place, who are you visiting? What is the purpose of your visit? Where will you be going with the person? Where do you intend to stay? It's just a little bit of information. You don't need to write anything really long, just something very brief. I am filling this application as if it is the person that is filling the application. So here I'm writing that Rebecca is my da-da-da-da, and I would like to visit her because I've lived with her for a long time. She left the United Kingdom to practice as a nurse in September 2020, and since then I have not physically been able to see her, although we talk almost every day via video. I miss her and I would like to visit her, and Rebecca has also requested for me to come and spend some time with her in the UK. So that is very simple. You put anything you want to put there based on your circumstances. So the next question is the dates you plan to arrive in the UK and the date you plan to leave the UK. So you will need to put that details in as appropriate. Then we come to your personal details, okay? So you, the applicant, your personal details, so your first name, your family name, and the next question is, are you now or have you been known by any other name? Who does the email address belong to? So the email address you're using for the application, they will ask you who the email address belongs to. And then the next question is, what is your sex as known in your passport? So that is your gender, whether you're male or female. What is your relationship status? What is your country of nationality, your country of birth, your place of birth, your date of birth? Okay. Then the next question is, do you have a valid national ID card? So apart from your passport, you know some of the countries have ID cards. So like in Ghana, for instance, you have what we call the Ghana card or the ECOWAS card. So you can put in those details of the card. Then they ask for your address, where you live in your country of residence or your country of birth. What is your address in that country? How long have you lived in that address? What is the ownership status of your home? So with this one, the person I'm applying for is the house owner. They own the property for over 15 years. So I've put that in there. It says provide your telephone number. So you provide a number. Where do you use the telephone number? Is it for use whilst you are in the UK or for use outside of the UK? So you answer that. The next question is, are you able to be contacted by telephone just for follow-up in case they need to ask you anything, which I'm not sure they mostly do, but they will ask you whether you want to be contacted by calls or by text. You answer appropriately. Then the next question is your passport details. So your passport number, your issuing authority, which is the country that issued the passport, the issue date and the expiry date of the passport. You state that as well. Then you give, if you are married, they ask for your spouse details, okay? So details of your spouse, whether they are traveling with you or not, you state that as well. Then the next question is dependent details. So does anyone rely on you for financial support, including both traveling with you and those that are not? So anybody at all that relies on you for financial support, you have to state that. The next question is your parents' details. So they are going to ask for your parents' details. So irrespective of your age, you have to state your parent details. So what is the person's relationship to you? So they usually request you to write two parents, okay, to give details of two parents. So you give your mother's details, their name, date of birth, their country of nationality, and then the other parents also could be your father or anyone, maybe your stepfather or your guardian, whoever, you put in their details as well. Then the next sub question is employment detail. So are you retired? Are you working? You put in that. If you are still working, they'll ask you for your or your organization where you work for. You put it there. The next sub question is income and expenditure details, okay? So they ask you, do you have any income or savings, and what is the source of that income? The total amount of money that you get in a year, and how are you personally planning to spend? How much are you personally planning to spend on your visit? Okay, so whilst you are coming to the country, it's not everything that your sponsor should take care of. That's what they believe. So how much are you planning to spend in total on your visit? And then the next question is, what is the total amount of money you spend each month? The next question is, will anybody be paying towards the cost of your visit? If yes, you put there. If no, you put there. So in this, I am writing that I am paying for the cost of the visit. So I put yes. Then the drop down question that comes is to provide the name and the details of the one sponsoring. So you, the sponsor, you put your details there. So if you are the one sponsoring their invitation or anything, it means that you have to write that sponsor letter in addition to your application. Okay. So then the next question is, how much are they going to spend towards your visit? So this is the one sponsoring. They're asking you how much is the person going to spend towards your visit. And another question is, why are they helping you to pay for your visits? Okay, so if somebody is sponsoring you, the person needs to state why. So in this case, they're asking why I am sponsoring for their visit, and I have written that as well. And the next question is, do you have any family in the UK? So you state how many family you have, all their details, you put it in there. their address, their email, their contact number, the date that you arrive in their address, the date that you leave their address. That is if it is their address you're going to be staying in. If you're going to be staying in a hotel or Airbnb also, they'll ask you for the details of that accommodation because they need to track and trace where you are residing for accountability's sake. Then another sub question is, have you ever been refused entry into any country, whether it be in the United Kingdom or anywhere else, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, USA, Switzerland, etc., etc.? Have you been in any other country for the past 10 years? If yes, you state. Other questions are more of safeguarding questions. So whether you have been involved in suspected activities or war or genocide and so on and so forth, you answer appropriately. Whether you have been convicted before or anything, then the languages you speak, they will ask you, then you put it down. So whatever language you speak, you put it down there. It can be a local language, it can be an international language, it doesn't really matter. Then now, when you finish, they put the documents that they want you to submit. But it doesn't necessarily mean that these are the only documents you can submit. If you feel like you want to add more information onto your application to make it successful, you can. For example, it's proof of accommodation. Okay, so if you want to prove that you have an accommodation that is big enough to house the person you are inviting, you can add a copy of your tenancy agreement. If you are inviting somebody like a child, you have to add extra documents from like their school giving permission to bring them into the UK because you know that they are in school and you are taking them out of school. Okay, but the mandatory documents that they have stated here is that the passport or the traveling documents for you, the applicant, and then other documents is the evidence the evidence of support you will receive from your sponsor. Okay, and evidence that your sponsor is not in breach of UK immigration law, and evidence of funds available to you and which are clearly accessible to you. So that is the bank account or bank statement for the person you are applying for, not you the sponsor, not your bank statement. So you the sponsor will add your bank statement, and then the person you are sponsoring also will add their bank statement. Okay, then invitation from your UK based family or friend and evidence of their permission to be in the UK. So that is your BRP front and back and your passport. And then you write an invitation letter that you are the one inviting them to come and spend some time with you in the UK. And then the last thing is evidence of your relationship, if any, between you and your sponsor. So it doesn't necessarily need to be someone that you have a relationship with, but if you have a relationship with the person, it makes your application straightforward. Okay, so the price of the visa application, as I already said, is $128 or £100, and the length of the visit is up to 6 months. So the person cannot extend their visit. The person cannot overstay their visit, but they can extend due to medical treatment reasons only. So if the basis of your treatment is only due to medical treatment, then you can extend your visit. Or when the COVID came, people had the chance to extend their visits, but now I'm not sure people are able to do that again. So yeah, basically that is how to apply for a visit visa and all the documents that you need to apply for a visit visa. I hope you guys learned a couple of things or one or two things from this video. If you still have any questions with regards to this video or how to do a successful visit visa, let me know in the comment section. Let's all put our heads together and do a successful visit visa application for our loved ones and our families to either come and visit us, to come on tourism, business, or any other thing. I hope this video was of benefit to you. If it was, smash the like button for this video, share this video with your friends and family, and until we meet again in my next video, guys, bye.